Do you feel confused and overwhelmed by so many plethora of courses, tips and tricks around how to become a successful cloud or DevOps engineer? No more. In this video, I'm going to share just the guide that you will ever need for becoming a successful cloud/slash DevOps engineer. So it's a week by week, 6 months plan that I have put out where I will cover everything from the fundamentals to the advanced level like Kubernetes, etc. Hi everyone, my name is Samrat Pidarshi. I'm a cloud engineer in Google and I've helped multiple people or mentored, guided multiple people in successfully becoming cloud/slash DevOps engineers. So it's a week by week plan that you'll see shortly that I've prepared. So the first 4 weeks are fundamentals. The next couple of months are on cloud and the basics of cloud, and you will also get certified in those next couple of months. And then after that, it's tools like Kubernetes, Terraform around the DevOps space, which will help you in automating and becoming a successful DevOps engineer. And then the final piece is just some tips and tricks on how to build your LinkedIn profile and prepare for the interviews. So before we dive into the roadmap, let's talk about the various type of cloud engineers. Let's dive right into it. So I'll put a link of this roadmap in the description. Do make sure to check out the description. So before we dive into the roadmap, let's talk about the various types of cloud engineers, right? So as you can see, we have 5 types of cloud engineer. There may be more or less depending on how you mention the infrastructure engineer. A networking engineer can also be an infrastructure engineer given their skill set, right? But on a broad level, these are the 5 engineers that we have. The infrastructure engineer, that they design and manage the core infrastructure like identity and access management, CI/CD pipelines, virtual machines, etc. Cloud data engineers basically focus on handling vast amount data, processing of the data, ingestion, transformation of the data, and then building those data pipelines. And then we have the cloud AI/ML engineers, which basically help in developing and training the various machine learning models, right? And these engineers are also responsible for developing conversational AI chatbots, etc. Then we have the networking engineer who focus on building virtual private clouds, managing VPNs, configuring DNS, etc. And then we have the security engineers who make sure that the entire cloud infrastructure is secure. Now, the roadmap that I'm showing here, it will set you up for a successful cloud infrastructure engineer. Now, those basics are very important because after that only you can pivot to any of these other cloud engineers that you want, because those fundamentals are very important. So at any point of time that you feel that, hey, I am done with infrastructure and now I want to be an AI engineer or data engineer, you will have the appropriate foundations in place to do that, right? And also one thing to keep in mind, the way that I build this is by keeping all the people in mind. So no matter what your background is, whether you are a college student, whether you are a fresher working in some legacy technologies like mainframe, etc., this roadmap is for you. So yeah, let's dive into the roadmap. So the first 2 weeks, networking, one of my favorite topics. You can't leave networking in anything, right? So you have to know about the various networking concepts like OSI model, TCP/IP, how does the web work, DNS, routing, subnetting, CIDR ranges, and then troubleshooting commands like ping, traceroute, dig, NSLOOKUP. Those are very important as well. And these are some of the courses that I have linked here, which you can look into. And these courses I personally have watched as well. These are very great courses, which you can watch to get your basics of networking right. Once you're done with networking, then you can dive into operating systems. Windows, Linux, doesn't matter, but here I'm focusing on Linux. So you should know the basics, how does users and groups are managed, file permissions, how to install, uninstall softwares, package management, etc. Right? It's very important because you can't basically run anything if you don't load Linux, because every time you have to log into the terminal to do something, be it Kubernetes, Terraform, Git commands, if you have to provision something via script, everything will be through the terminal, right? Now it can be PowerShell or Linux or Bash, depending on your operating system of choice. But I personally love Linux, and most of the cloud engineers also do. So you have to get the basics of operating systems right. Now the fourth week is databases. So you have to know the SQL database for starters. Now there are many other databases as well which you can learn as you progress along, or once you successfully become a cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, based on your, the company's need. But here I'm focusing on SQL, so you can learn either MySQL, Postgres. I have put a link of this particular course. There's a very good course where you will go from zero to advanced level in your SQL skills. So once you are done with SQL, the next very important thing is you have to have the basics of computer programming right. So I've chosen Python because of its easy learning curve, and you can easily script anything with Python. So you have to know the various data types, how conditional works, like if else, how does the for loop works, etc. Right? So 2 weeks for this, and this is a very good course that I have linked again, which will help you in automating some of the repetitive tasks, etc. Now, once you're done with the basic Python programming, the next thing is version control system, because you have to know how to push or pull code from Git or clone from GitHub. So this is a very good crash course from Free Code Camp, which you can look into. And this course basically dives into all the basics plus some of the advanced things as well, where you resolve merge conflicts, etc. Right? So this is very important because once you become a cloud engineer, day in, day out, you will be working with Git commands. Now, to the exciting part, and finally to cloud. The next 5 weeks, you will focus on a cloud service provider. So in this case, it's Google Cloud Platform. And this is where you will learn all the fundamentals of cloud, like how to spin up a compute engine, how to deploy your Kubernetes clusters, how to set up networking, how to create cloud storage buckets, how to handle IAM or identity and resource management, how to set up databases, how to deploy applications. This is where the fun begins. So the course that I have linked here, you do the fundamentals, then you can move on to the foundations where you create all those VMs, etc. Now, once you do this, I will highly recommend you to complete your certification, which is Associate Cloud Engineer. You can find that link in the description as well on how to become ACE certified or Associate Cloud Engineer. Because once you pass that certification, you will gain a lot of confidence that your basics are right. And the potential employers that you will apply to, they will know that, okay, you are certified. Now, at least you have the basics right. So once you do this, next is infrastructure as code, and in this case, Terraform. Go through this very great course on Udemy, where you just spin up resources using Terraform. So I will recommend you to first learn the basics of Terraform, doing or playing with Terraform and figuring a lot of stuff out, because this is the tool I think almost all the companies use in today's world to spin up their infrastructure. Now, the next week is just revise everything, take a break, go on a trip maybe, because you just don't want to get again overwhelmed and just burn out, etc. So go on a trip so that whatever is yet to come next, you are prepared for that. Digest whatever you have learned in the past 14 to 15 weeks. And then in the next week, one of my favorite topics, learn the fundamentals of Kubernetes, because as I have mentioned in previous videos as well, the future of infrastructure is Kubernetes. So learn the various Kubernetes objects, like what are pods, deployment, services, config maps, secrets, etc. And then take an application and then package it and then deploy it in Kubernetes. So these are some of the courses that I have listed here, will help you in doing those hands-on as well. And once you do this, I think these 3 weeks, you will come out as a good engineer who will have known the basics of Kubernetes and how to deploy your applications. Now, the next thing is not technical, but build your LinkedIn profile, because this is one of the things which I highly focus on people to do, because it's very important to demonstrate whatever you have built or showcase your projects. So if you have not seen my video on how I got hired by Google, check out this link and watch that video, because there I share that how the entire Google journey began from just one blog. So have maybe a blog or a GitHub project where you have listed whatever you have done, because gone are the days where you prepare resumes and then share it across. You do that, but in your resumes you write whatever you have done and showcase your projects that you have done through GitHub or your Medium articles or your blog that you might have. So build out that LinkedIn profile, connect to people, connect with me on LinkedIn. I will have my LinkedIn profile link in the description as well. And connect with people, follow people, just to stay up to date on what is going in this cloud and DevOps world. After that, this is very important topic because it's all about the applications at the end. So you build infrastructure to run applications on top of it. So you have to know what are the various components that an application needs, right? So it can be load balancers, caches, queues, replication of databases, etc. So know the basics of system design, because this will help you in giving the holistic view of what comprises of an application, right? Because it's hardly just a Python code and then you are done. There are databases in the backend, there are queues, there are caches, there are load balancers, there are proxies, there are a lot of components involved. So get this overview, and this is one of the good courses that I came across YouTube, where you can go through the fundamentals and everything that you need to know about system design. And then I think the last piece from the technical side of things is GenAI, because I think we just can't skip this, because this will help you in being much more productive, right? So just use tools like Gemini, where you go, write a prompt like, hey, write a simple Docker file to package an application, and then take it from there, refine it, and then do those things. So this is a good course from deep learning that I came across. I personally gone through this, and Andrew NG, he explains so beautifully what GenAI is and etc., and how you can leverage it in your day-to-day life. So go through this course, and then if you are interested, go through other courses as well, because they have a bunch of good courses if you are interested in learning more around GenAI. But definitely, as I have mentioned multiple times in other videos, the DevOps engineer who knows GenAI will be much more sought out than the DevOps engineer who doesn't know GenAI, right? So learn this, and you will be definitely standing apart from the other DevOps engineers. Now, the final 2 weeks are around your preparation. Now, I've seen a lot of people, they just do all the technical stuff, but when they go to interview, it's like new to them, and they're just not able to answer the very basic question as well. So spend some time in doing some kind of mock interview. Get your friends along who are doing the same thing with you, preparing to be a cloud engineer. Just ask them to have a mock interview for maybe 15-20 minutes, and ask them to interview you, right? This way you will be able to know very basic things, right? Because I've done this for other people that I have trained, and it's very effective, right? Because they're not even able to know like what's their body language looking like when they're answering something. And this is very important, because you have the technical skills. Now you have to showcase that. You have to be confident that, okay, you have done those real-time projects, you have done hands-on, you have projects on GitHub. So do that and showcase your projects. Go to LinkedIn, just post something, whatever new that you came across, whatever you have built, because gone are the days like 8 years back where you just had a certification and then you are done, right? In today's world, it's all about that hands-on experience where you have done something that your recruiter can see. It can be either blogs, it can be some code on GitHub, which you can showcase, and then you can stand apart. So it's all about that, because many people are aiming to do this, and the only way you are going to set yourself apart is by doing these small little things where you showcase your projects. So yeah, I think this is what I had. But before you go, I have some other tips which are as important as these courses. So let's dive into that one now. Okay, so you have decided to become a cloud engineer, but as you can see, this is a long road. It's a 6 months road, and it can become 8 months road as well, right? So how should you go through that road? Because in between there might be some times where you will feel a little bit overwhelmed, or you might just not have that motivation, right? So this is where the process comes in, right? And I talk about process a lot because this is one thing which will help you in achieving whatever you have set to achieve in your life, not just becoming cloud or DevOps engineer, right? So everything in life is a process. If you follow the process and just don't worry about achieving that particular thing, right? If you follow the process, you will definitely go through all the courses. You will definitely do everything that you have to do in order to become a cloud engineer, right? So have some routine, right? Every day, 2 hours you will give to this particular thing, and then you'll do this for the next 6 months or 24 weeks, right? So it's very important because I've seen multiple people, started with that motivation that they will make a lot of money, but after 2 months they just drop out. So just remember and just push yourself to just go through these 6 months and through this entire guide, and I'm sure that you will be successful in becoming a cloud and DevOps engineer. So there you have it. Now, if you like this video, I think you will also like this video of mine where I talk about my Google story, and it will inspire you as well from where I started and where I'm right now. So do check out this video, and if you got some value out of it, please hit that like button and subscribe to it, because that will help me a lot in producing more valuable content for you. Until then, you get to live, make the most out of it. Thank you.